interfaces. Abstract means like not completely implemented class. Like if there is there are some unimplemented method in class, that class can be considered as abstract class.
Okay. So can we write abstract class without any abstract method?
Abstract class should have at least one abstract method.
Is it mandatory?
Yeah, it's mandatory. Yeah, it should have at least one abstract method.
Okay. Okay, fine. So any other way by which we can achieve abstraction in Java?
Yeah, we can also use interfaces. Interfaces,
Interfaces?
yeah.
So can you tell me where to use abstract class and where to use interface?
Like we can extend only one abstract class, but we can inherit or implement multiple uh, interfaces at the same time. So that's
Okay.
the advantages for interface. That's it.
Okay.
Other than that,
Okay. So
hmm,
can we write implementation in interface?
implementation of an interface. Yeah,
Yep. Inter Can we write method implementation in interface?
it's allowed after 1.8 version Java, where we can define some default methods and static methods.
Okay.
Other than
So
that, it's yeah,
only for default method we can write implementation, is it?
yeah, not for the abstract method. Or other method are considered as abstract method in interface.
Okay. So and what will be the access specifier for non-implemented methods?
Access specifier in interface.
Yep.
It would be public, I guess. If we define it as public, it would be public.
Okay. Can we declare variable in interface?
Variables in interface. Yes, yeah. We can declare variables.
Variable or constant?
Sorry, variable or?
Okay. If we declare variable, what will be the access specifier for that?
Okay. I'm not sure about it, but I guess it would be public only. Or should be default, I guess. By default, all the access specifier are default in classes, so it should be in interface also.
So if in interface I don't specify any access specifiers for a method, so it will be default. That what you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what is meant by immutable?
Yeah, immutable means like we can change the content of the object. Like
Okay.
in case of strings, strings are immutable. So every time we create a new string, we are with the same content, we are referring to the same string inside the memory. There is a concept of string pool in strings, where if we created a string with literal, it is created inside a string pool memory. And if we again create the same string with different variable having the same value, so it would check first that if this string is present in the string pool or not. If it is present, then it would return the same reference to the other variable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So suppose we have one student class which is having roll number and name. Roll number is integer, name is string. And we want to create this student class as immutable. So what should we do?
Okay. So immutability can be achieved by we first need to like define the member variable as
Mm-hmm.
private static, I guess. And we don't need to provide any setters. We will give only getters. And while we are getting the object, we should clone the object and return.
Okay. So you said like we need to write a member variable as static and final, right?
Hmm.
Any reason for that?
Like we don't need to private static actually. We don't need like from other class any other variable is not any other thing is not able to access that variable actually. So that's why the private static.
So for private, I can understand will not any other thing will not be able to access.
Hmm.
What is the purpose of static?
Static it I don't think it should be static. I'm forgetting. I guess it should be final. Final means that we can't change it.
Final or static?
I'm confused about it. I'm not sure about it. I have
Okay.
read it immutability. There are three steps actually, so I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me like which type of constructor you will be writing?
There would be a default constructor where
Okay.
would be like we would be creating the object of that and we would be setting that object in that constructor.
Okay. So each object will have the same value, is it?
Each, sorry, each object would have same value. No,
Yeah.
we would check. I don't think. Yeah, the object we created in the global scope, we would be setting in the constructor, default constructor. Like
So object
object of
created.
class dot this is equals to whatever the object is.
So you will be updating your object in default constructor that you want to say.
Actually, I'm not able to recall what was the immutability clauses actually. So
Okay. Okay, fine. So can you tell me what is the use of final keyword if I use it with class?
final keyword.
Yep.
Yeah, if class is final, then it means that it can be inherited.
Okay. Can you tell me different type of exception that we have in Java?
There are runtime exception and other class not found exception, which is comes under other type of exception. There are several types of exception, but I know that there are two checked and unchecked exception. Checked are those which are checked at the compile time, and at
Mm-hmm.
the compile time which are not like checked that are checked at runtime. Like at runtime they are noticed. They are unchecked exception.
Okay. So which one are mandatory to handle?
Which one are mandatory? Like unchecked exceptions are mandatory to handle. I guess every time if we get any file not found or We handle actually both the kind of exceptions in our program.
No, which one are mandatory to handle?
Mandatory. Like if we don't check as exception, it would give a compile time error only. So we should check it, the checked exception.
Okay, so unchecked exceptions are not mandatory to handle. That you
No.
want to say?
Unchecked exception are also like we can check both type of the exception
Okay, okay. How we can handle exceptions in Java?
using try catch block.
Anything else?
We no, I don't think so. I have used only try catch block only.
Okay, okay, fine. So suppose there is a code block
Mm,
and for which I want to handle exception.
mm.
So in case of arithmetic exception, I want to call method A,
Mm.
and in case of other exceptions, I want to call method B.
Mm.
How can I write code for this in Java?
So the exception part where we are expecting an exception, we would be placing that into the try block. Under that, the first catch block would be arithmetic exception, and under
Mhm.
that we would be calling the method A with some sort of message we need to write log. And the second exception would be exception E. It's the parent class of runtime exception, and under that we can call the method B with the specific message we would like to log.
Okay. What if I write exception block first and after that arithmetic exception?
Then always it would call the method B because exception is the root class, and under that there is a runtime exception, and under that there is the arithmetic exception. So it won't check arithmetic exception. It would get an exception and it would call the method B, and it won't
Mhm.
be catching the second exception.
Okay, okay, fine. So I worked on collections.
Yeah, worked on collection.
So which type of collection you have worked on?
I worked on array list, uh, sets, hash set, and hash maps and all.
Okay, okay. So suppose we have an employee class
Uh,
which is having ID and name.
okay.
Okay, ID integer, name is string.
Mm.
Have 10 objects of employee class stored in an array list.
Sorry, your
Out of-
voice is breaking. Actually.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So we have 10,000 objects of employee class
Mm.
which are stored in an array list.
Okay.
So out of those 10,000 objects,
Mm.
some objects are having same name
Mm.
and same ID.
Okay.
So basically,
Duplicate
those are
records.
duplicates.
Yeah.
We want to separate out all the unique objects from the array list.
We
So
need to like remove the duplicates or separate the duplicates, and we would only have the unique records in the array list, right?
I want to get all the unique object.
All unique objects. Okay.
How can I get it?
Uh, we can like iterate through the array list with an iterator, and while iterating, we can get the employees ID and like ID and name,
Mm-hmm.
but it won't work actually. We can like set it into as hash set. Hash sets architecture is so that it won't allow any duplicate values. So we would directly we would create a hash set and put the array list object into that, and the hash we can print the hash set. So yes, this would give all the unique objects.
Okay. So how the headset will identify the duplicates?
Hash set will identify on the basis of the ID only. Then we would have to like override the equals method, and we would have to provide that in equals we would need to check ID and name both. On the basis of that, we can like when we are putting the array list into that hash set, then it would check both of them, and according to that, if there are unique, then it would be added into the hash set.
Okay. So only equals method that we need to override.
No, we need to override both equals and hash code, but we I don't think we need to change hash code in this case.
Okay. Why?
Hash code would be generated on the basis of the yeah, hash code. If we want like we need to save the object on the basis of ID only. Yeah, we need to change the hash code also. Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the use of hash code and equals method with respect to hash set? Where it will be used?
Actually, hash code is used to convert the value, the key. Sorry, whenever we put an object into a hash set, its value is being converted into a hash code, and according to that hash code, we are placing the object into separate buckets. We have buckets in hash set. So we are placed if we get a hash code of a corresponding object, we would place that object into the corresponding hash code bucket. So likewise, we would have to calculate every object's hash code. So using the hash code method, we are getting the hash code of every object. And equals method would be like it is implemented for checking the objects. What if an object is different from another object? What are the parameters on the basis of we can define that two objects are different? Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what if we get an
Sorry.
hash code for two objects?
Your voice is breaking again.
Hello?
Yeah.
What if we get same hash code for two objects?
Then there would be a hash collision, and I guess after 1.8 version, Java uses tree kind of data structure to store the objects in the same bucket. In the case of hash collision, both the objects would be stored in the same bucket but in a specific data structure.
Okay. So it will be using tree structure.
Yeah, yes.
Any advantage of that?
Uh, I guess the advantage would be the fetching would be fast in tree structure.
So it will be sorted.
Yeah, tree are sorted by default. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So if I want to use tree set
Hmm.
for our like for the problem we had discussed,
Hmm.
what should I implement?
Uh, Tree set. If we use tree set in place of hash set, then the duplicates are also not allowed, and other than that, we would get a sorting order by default. So the elements would be sorted.
So sorting order will depend upon which parameter?
Of the employee object, right? It would again check the equals method, I guess, or a hash code method.
For sorting?
No, no, for comparing the objects on, I'm not sure about how to sort in preset. It by default gives us a sorting, so I haven't tried it yet. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Do you know the collections which can be used in multi-threading environment?
Yeah, the collections which are in package java.util.concurrent, like concurrent hash map and copy on array list, they can be used in multi-threading environment.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between hash table and concurrent hash map?
Hash table and concurrent hash map.
Yeah.
Uh, I have not use hash table by myself, but I know that the synchronized map uses hash table internally as a data structure, and
Okay.
synchronized map is a fail fast iterator, I guess, gives a fail fast iterator, while the concurrent hash map is a fail safe iterator, gives a fail safe iterator.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between fail-fast iterator and a fail-safe iterator?
Yeah, fail fast iterator are those if we are iterating through a collection, and at the same time any other thread tries to structurally change the collection in some sort, like if adding or updating any element, so the collection would return a concurrent modification exception and won't allow the modification. Thus, these type of iterators are fail-fast iterator. While the fail-safe iterator won't give any error while structural change, and it won't even give 100% surety that the change would be applied in the iteration while the iteration. Yeah.
Okay. So change may not be applied while iteration.
Yeah. May not be like if the iteration he has started, and let's
Mm-hmm.
say it's midway, it's in the fifth location,
Mm-hmm.
four have already been readed and printed in the logs or output. So if we are changing the fourth element, then it won't be, I guess, printed in the logs. It would continue and yeah, print till the end, and the change won't be visible in this case.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So suppose we have a student list. Student object has name, roll number, and marks.
Hmm.
Roll number is integer.
Hmm.
Name and sorry, marks is also integer,
Hmm.
and name is string.
Hmm.
And from that, sorry, we have list of student objects.
Student objects, okay.
Okay. We want to filter out all the student objects who has marks greater than 50 using Java.
Okay.
So how can we achieve this?
Using lambdas, we can do it by stream. We should first make the stream and then filter, where we can use the lambda expression for all. If there is a variable a, then
Mhm.
a is an employee. If we consider a as an employee, then a dot get marks, if and if it is greater than this, then we should print system dot out as a as such. You can do it.
So filter you will be writing, and anything else? Filter we return a string, right?
Filter would be returning the object only. If the stream we are iterating through, if we are iterating through the employee, then it would be return the employee. After that, we can get the marks or name on the basis of the employee object, yeah, and then print it.
So filter we return employee, sorry, student object
Student object, yeah,
that you want to.
yeah,
Okay. And I want to collect, like, I want to get the data in another list. How can
another
I
list.
get it?
Yeah, we can like collect it dot collect dot to list, and we can provide the employee array list in the left hand side, and the stream we have used this the we would exchange the printing with the collection. We would be collecting collect dot to list, and then we would be populating into the array list.
Okay. Now suppose the resultant list I want to sort using uh, alphabetical order of student name, and I want to print those name on console. So how can we do it?
Uh, we can implement a comparator. Uh, we need to like sort on the basis of name. First, we have sort. Okay. No, we don't need to use filter in this case. We can map, and but we can use default collection dot sort also, or we can implement our own comparator. But I haven't used comparator, so I would be doing like collection dot sort first, and then
But
map.
collection dot sort, how it will know that the list need to be sorted on the name of the student?
Yeah. In the lambdas, we would be using the map function. In the stream, we would be using the map function, and map. I guess in this case we need to use comparator only. So I'm not sure about it how comparator, but I have read it about somewhere. Like we would be implementing comparator, and inside that we would give a compare to method where we would be giving two objects, two employee objects, and under that the two employee objects we would compare on the basis of their names, and we the anonymous function closes like that. We can give a comparator, an anonymous implementation of the comparator function.
Okay. So we should use comparator, what you are saying.
Yeah.
Why only comparator? Why not comparable?
Comparable will give a default like a sorting order. If we want a
Mhm.
default sorting order which is ascending to descending, we can go for comparable. Other than that, we can implement our own comparator.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So you have worked on REST APIs, right?
Yes.
So can you tell me the how you are doing authentication for your services?
Authentication, like we have recently started working on it. We are
Mm.
implementing Spring Security and GWT as an authentication token, where we create a token on the basis of username and password, and
Mhm.
giving a timeout like this token should be applicable for this much time, and after that it expires. We have just started to implement it in our project, so I have not much knowledge about it.
Okay. So have you written custom configuration in your Spring Boot application?
Custom, I have used like a Spring Batch application also. So there I have used some custom configuration, XML configuration.
Okay, so can you just tell me how you have configured it?
In Spring Batch, there is the in our project. We would have to like generate bulk extracts on the daily basis from DB. Wherein like there are several tables. From several tables, we have to create an extract in some processing, do some processing, business logic, and then create an extract. So for that, we have implemented the batch implementation and the Spring Batch application, wherein like we have to configure it in XML format. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the XML configuration, we define all the like what are the reader, writer, and processor, and where we need to like write the query. In the reader, we would be having a database item reader, and the query related to that, and what data source we would be hitting, and the processor, what class we should be referring to for the processing, and so in the writer logic, we would write that where on what location our output file should be written. Other than that, other configuration we have also done like the data source, the encryption and decryption of the password, and all the dialect and all the whatever the data source uh, properties are needed. We have set through the XML configuration. Other than that, I remember that there is a task executor XML where we define the max pool and core pool size. Like we have a task executor which would be giving our application number of threads to execute our process. So we would be defining the number of threads over there. So this type of configuration I have used there.
Okay, okay, fine. Do you know the actuators?
Uh, No, I haven't worked upon it, but I have read it. It's been
Mm-hmm.
used in microservices for performance and checking like how our services are performing,
Okay,
or their health, basically, or their health. How are they performing?
okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between put and patch HTTP method?
Okay. Put is used for like if we want to update any element, update any resource. Sorry. So we can use put. Other than that, patch is being used like if we want to uh, update any like a specific element in the whole. If we have a data object, like there are hundreds of member variables or getters and setters. So if you want to change only one or two like elements in that, so we can use patch over here, and we can only update only those one and two on the basis of that.
Okay. Which method is idempotent?
Idempotent
Yep.
in regarding to this HTTP methods you are asking, like put, post, delete.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure about it, but I don't think.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
Can you tell me the difference between query parameter and path variables?
yeah. Query parameters we get it from like the URI only. The URI with the endpoint which a user's or client accesses, it would have a question mark and then some values. Which gives us which the application takes as a query parameter. And while sorry, query parameter and path parameter. And path parameter is the in the URI, and
Mm-hmm.
Query parameter, I'm not sure about it.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me the different HTTP response codes which you have used?
There is a response code 200, which is for successful, and response code 500 for application server error. Other than that, we have already defined it like